Merry Christmas, everybody, and welcome to the Gimmick Infringement podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is Tyler McDowell Blanken. You should be hearing this on Christmas or seeing us on Christmas or Christmas Eve, and hopefully you're having a wonderful time with your family, and if you're not, shut this off and go spend time with them and catch us later. But if you can't do that, we're glad we're here. Today, we're going to talk about the thing that you hopefully don't have to do today, and that is work. We got to talk about work events, work traditions. We got to talk about Secret Santa and office parties and decorating around the offices. Tyler, you and I work in education. You've worked in the classroom. You've worked outside of the classroom. You've done all of it. What do you think about Christmassy work event situations?
It's such a busy time as the semester winds down. But what's nice is that when we cross over into December, overall, I would say people's spirits are pretty high. Brad, November can be a long month. It can be a journey. I know I don't need to tell you that. So by the time we make it to December, by the time we cross over, I feel like there's a lot of optimism and hope in the air. I've known many teachers who will decorate their classroom in preparation of Christmas. I was never that person. I think the most I had was a mini Christmas tree to put on my desk. But there are folks who use lights and then, help organize canned food drives or other. I've always wanted to be that person. So there is so much good that happens around this time. There are also office Christmas parties, which are not always good, but we will get into that. It's really a mixed bag for me, much like presents you receive every year. You never know what you're going to get, but there's so much I want to say. Overall, I would say it's a W. Overall, it's a nice, but I want to break down some of these specific elements that we can share our thoughts on. I know I have thoughts. I know you do too, Brad. Overall, Christmas, work, our lens of education. What say you?
Well, I've been to the Walmart. I almost said Hallmark. Walmart.
Retail. Yes.
Yes. I've been to Walmart ones. I've been to several of Jess's staff Christmas parties. It kind of depends. It kind of depends on the situation. So a Christmas party at work, a Christmas party for work at a restaurant with catering and an open bar, totally different situation than I'm doing it in the cafeteria.
I've not had that. I've only done I've only had the cafeteria in the classroom. We just had it at the university. We had convocation, we had graduation, and then we had a required holiday party to follow. And it's always under that guise of, is this required?
Yeah.
Or is this not? I think that's the most frustrating part for me, is it's never, it's sort of these unspoken rules.
Yes.
Oh, if you're being invited, you should go. But then when you're there and some of your colleagues aren't, or now in the Zoom era we're in, they tap in via Zoom or they join via Zoom. It's like, oh, well, was this really required?
Yeah, I got an email this week, and it's like we hope to see you there. We're going to be doing all of these different things. We're going to celebrate the end of the year, but please make sure you put your time in if you're not going to be here. So it's like, all right, you're invited, but you better show up.
You better show up.
Yeah, and it's like,
and then is the Secret Santa? Okay, so
always optional for that.
My attendance is required. Now, is the Secret Santa required, or is that optional?
I'm too flaky for that stuff. I'm not going to remember to do it. I'm going to overthink the heck out of it. I'm going to overspend.
You're going to overspend. You're not going to follow the $15.
No, of course not. I'm going 20 at least. And it's just like, no, that's $15 thing sucks. I'm going to get something for 20. Like I know me well enough to know that if I didn't, it would end up being like a gift card to Dutch Bros or something. I would just want to do that instead. It's a mixed thing because, I do the canned food drive every year and I do it for extra credit for my students. I know they picked up about half of what got donated and it was over 1,500 items. So my guess is we hit over 3,000 again this year, which is something I'm proud of them for doing. They're not proud of it. They just want it out of the final. So like, they were just like, I don't want to take this final. Here's some cans. I don't care. We help people. So what do I care? And it's a positive thing. But they're always like, well, you want to decorate? I'm like, yeah, I want to decorate. I want to decorate. I'm not going to decorate. I have not sniffed the grade book in weeks because November is hellacious. So I'm just trying to live here, man. Like, let's turn in your cans and keep quiet. Is basically what that turns
I
into
may I may
for weeks.
update the border on my wall. I think there's a name. I've been out of the game too long. There's a name for those borders that you can
Yeah,
buy.
I
You
know what
get
you're
like
talking about. I
holiday
can't remember.
themed
Yeah, yeah,
borders on your
yeah,
wall, right? So maybe
yeah,
that was probably the furthest extent I got, was maybe having a holiday theme, but I never went to the lights or
I
any
have
sort
some
of.
decor. I have some lights and I got some stuff. It's
Of
in the
course you do.
closet,
You're the
but
man.
it's
Yeah.
just for like the top of my desk. I'm
That
not running it
counts.
around my room.
That's more than I did.
I got LEDs around the entire perimeter of the inside of my ceiling, so
Yeah.
I'm not putting more lights up. You get
Right.
what you get, kids. You
Right.
get what you get.
And then and
So,
then and then you risk, if you forget to shut it off before winter break,
yeah, they come for you. They
energy
black
energy
helicopters
energy efficiency. You're gonna get left with that card that you were not energy efficient.
or a mass email from an administrator who's no longer working for us saying, "Hey, the
There's a
people in these specific rooms didn't do their job."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good,
But we're
good,
not gonna. But when you get back in February, we're not gonna turn the or in January, we're not gonna turn the heaters on, and you're not allowed to have a space heater. So bring some blankets, pal.
good times. This,
Yeah,
this
it
has
was
been an edition of
wonderful.
the Miranda Chronicles.
In
Brad, what
in fairness, it was COVID and nobody knew what the hell they were doing.
this is true.
Yeah,
We were trying our best. Brad, what I will say though is I agree with a lot of what you said. I actually had a really great Secret Santa experience this past week with colleagues. And granted, that was presented to us as pseudo optional, but it actually worked out well. People had fun. I felt engaged. We just had a really good time. And also, I know I mentioned, okay, well, if people don't show up, was it really required? So on and so forth. What I will confess is what I often forget is that this time of year can be really difficult for
yeah,
so many. There's
hmm
grief, there's insecurity there's financial insecurity, which then leads to people's health and getting sick. So I also say this kind of tongue in cheek because I realize, this time of year can be very challenging for folks. And fortunately, I just have a lot of fond memories, and I always look forward to this time of year. But I know that's not the case for
right.
everyone. So I know this was a quick swerve, but that is something I've learned in recent years. Whether we're talking about kids or colleagues, this time of year can be really challenging. The toughest part for me is just getting up and going to work because it's cold and it's dark usually.
Yeah,
But if
yeah,
that's my biggest issue this time of year, I'm pretty blessed and recognize that.
yeah. We have a lot of people in our lives and in our circles that have lost people, and some of them is going to
Mhm.
be their first holiday season without them. We also have people that we work with that don't celebrate Christmas, that are just around all this stuff that they don't observe.
Sure.
So it's
Okay.
always a little
Shout out to
bit,
Hanukkah. Shout out to Kwanzaa as well.
yeah, and it's I wish people were more felt more empowered to celebrate those things. As I get door notifications, and I'm probably about to hear some celebrating of half birthdays happening in the hallway here. It's it's so interesting, the dynamic at a workspace, especially in education, where it's like you're meeting 2,500 kids on a campus and you want to make a welcoming space. It's, well, how do I welcome everybody to that space and make them feel wanted and welcome and safe in that space? So it's a different dynamic than, okay, I got to go meet Brenda who works in HR with my wife, and I will not talk to her again for another year. And I had to do that for a couple of years when she was at Beacon Group. I would have to go and go to the president's house, which was always super cool. He was always really nice to me. And I get to see some people, and they'd always ask me about teaching, and I would talk for too long about it. And I would eat an ungodly amount of food that was on this giant table of cookies and stuff. Awesome. I had a good time there. And and for me, it was like, all right, well, we went to another one where they had an open bar at a whiskey place, and I like bourbon. So to be able to go get a couple of bourbons, I was like, I don't have to pay for this. This is pretty dope. Because this stuff is really expensive, and I don't really drink it because it's really expensive. To think about that at a school, it's just simply not a thing. But I don't want to purposely go out of my way when people are like, hey, we're going to go to a happy hour. I'm good. I don't want to. I want to go home and have milk and cookies. Like, I don't want to do this with you guys. So there's a lot of
Classic.
yeah, there's a lot of introvert, extrovert, different religious beliefs, perspectives, the job you're doing, the time, how well you know these people will dictate your enjoyment level of all of these different things. So let's get into it. Tyler, first topic, the whole office Christmas party. Two scenarios for you: offsite, onsite. Naughty or nice?
Ooh, ooh, very important distinctions.
Mm-hmm.
And offsite, are we distinguishing between someone's home versus a restaurant?
Ooh, you choose. I'll
Added
let you
layer.
choose. I'll let you choose.
Ah, gosh, I'm trying to be the best version of myself this holiday season, Brad. I'm very, very tempted to go naughty. And then there's the required versus optional, which is all we
Oh,
just already discussed it. Okay, I'm very tempted to go naughty. One for shock value, but also because I think it's how I really feel a lot of holidays. However, I am working on myself. I'm gonna go nice for the holiday parties because I do believe it's a great opportunity to build that community, to learn more
yeah.
about others. I just think it should be optional. But by naughty side is specifically for when it's required. But when it's optional, that means folks want to get together. They
Mhm.
have the bandwidth. The social battery is charged. Here for it. Nice. When it is required, regardless of setting, that's when I gotta go naughty.
Tyler, you might be surprised to hear me say this, but I agree with every single word you just said.
Get out. What?
Exactly the same. Yes. If you
Okay.
require me t
Let people let your employees choose.
if you are scheduling required fun, I'm not gonna have any
Thank you. Thank you. That's it.
because my
That's it.
my mind is already kinda made up, especially when the prizes are like prizes to help fulfill my work.
You need
Don't
some paper
don't give
clips?
me
You need
I
that new
don't want
stapler?
office supply money. Like, no, I wanna go on a vacation from here. I don't want
Office Depot money?
and they did that today, and they
I
offered
remember
other
that.
prizes today. Shout out to whoever was planning the party today at MHS because they upgraded it big time from last year. It wasn't all Office Depot money, and I know our funds are limited for what we can just have as expenditure like that because it is a taxpayer thing. So I imagine a lot of it is either donated or paid for by admin to do these things, which is a sacrifice. So because we don't have money we could just go use to buy gift cards to give to employees at a state funded facility. I don't even know what does that purchase order even look like.
I don't think
There's
I wanna
there's
know.
no there's no chance that that's happened. So however they got it, they do what they can, but they can't spread around Office Depot money. So I get it, which is why I hate it. Because I still don't want it. I would rather have nothing or do something silly where you embarrass us in some specific way. I'd rather do that. Tyler, the in office get togethers are so similar to the office Christmas parties that I think we should just skip it because we already kind of covered it. So we're going to go right to the next one, which is a food related thing, but it's the event itself, kind of all a Midwest buffet. Potlucks, Tyler. We have talked at least 3 or 4 times on this podcast over the years about potlucks, naughty or nice.
So naughty. I
Get
do
them
not
all the way on the naughty
I do
list.
not like potlucks. Perhaps some of it is my inadequacies as a chef. Perhaps
It's not.
I don't even know what the other perhaps is. I just don't like I just don't like potlucks in any variation. I never know what to sign up for. If
Onions.
yeah,
It's my jam.
I've tended to go for, okay, I'll bring the silverware or the napkins. Look like a total stiff if I'm just bringing the bare minimum, but I know I'm not ready to bring one of the heavy hitter items. I don't like it. I don't always trust other people's food. Do I really want to try that macaroni salad or that potato salad? I don't know. It's just too dicey on so many levels. I get in my head about it. Naughty.
Naughty for sure. It is the definition of a lump of coal in a stocking. It is aggressively terrible in every single way. I know I'm being kind of facetious here when I've said it over the years, but we've had so many potlucks where it's been like a taco bar, and I always say like, I'm sorry that I don't want a taco bar in a room run by white people from the Midwest, especially. I'm all set. Like, get your ground beef out of here. Like, I know this your box of Ortega shells. Like, this is not going to be any kind of good.
Yeah, I actually do appreciate some Ortega shells,
Oh,
but your point is very well taken.
you're not passing down like an old family recipe here. If we're going
No,
to do
yeah, yeah,
something
yeah,
like
no, no,
that, I want you to
eh,
bring your A game, bring your signature dish, not
for
some
sure.
some BS just to fulfill a need. So Tyler, I got mad only one really time where I got like aggressively upset about something really stupid at work, and it was because of potlucks, and it is why I started bringing onions. We had a list that went out, and I never got the list. And I was like, well, what am I supposed to bring? And there's nothing left. And they're like, well, you could bring the onions. And I went, all right. So Friends, there's an episode of Friends where Phoebe gets stuck with a crappy job and she has to bring ice. So she brings like 30 different kinds of ice, just different shapes. It's shaved,
Shaved.
sculptures, all the stuff. I went to Safeway and bought every single different kind of onion I could find. I had yellow and sweet, white, red. I bought shallots. I bought green onions. I
We're
caught
talking about the Safeway over on Silver. Is that Silver Bell?
a Cortero and Silverbell. Yes,
Cortera on Silver Bell.
yes,
Iconic.
and I loaded them up. We had that meeting in the conference room in the library, confined quarters. That room probably still smells like onions.
Was I
There's
there?
it was probably pre you. It might have
That was
been. We've had
okay.
many in there. Tammy Foster had her deviled eggs, and I had onions. That room had no chance.
That's
I crushed at
tricky.
least 6 of those deviled eggs. Deviled eggs stink. They smell like eggs. They just smell like a lot of eggs and onions all up in that space. And I remember a couple of people going like, "Oh, I don't feel good." Yeah, that's right. You asked for onions. You're getting all of them.
You're
I
getting
hate potlucks. Naughty list, Tyler.
you're getting the best Safeway has to offer. I'm not mad at that, Brad.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I'm just so sure on this. I'm not even gonna try to talk myself out of it like I did at the beginning. Yeah, it's just a no for me. I never enjoy it. I I just want them to be banished.
It's
But I do honor that some people, this is what I wanted to say. I do honor that some people, I don't think they're diabolical. I
no.
think they genuinely look forward to this. It is just not my flavor.
The
And
communal
that's okay.
experience.
The
Shout
communal
shout out to Carol
experience.
Major who always wanted this to happen with Christmas cookies and other things. The exchanges, I'm down with those. It's funny because the potluck. If one of those things were like, "Well, I make this really good blank," cool. I'm gonna bring it in tomorrow. You guys want some? Yeah, I'm down. I'm in. And it's weird that that can happen. But if they bring that same thing to the potluck, I pack my own lunch.
Yeah.
Tyler,
Yeah. And we're also spoiled that we live in Arizona in
there.
terms of Mexican cuisine.
Thank you.
As particularly you
But
being
that's why it was the example. I'm glad you brought that up because people
in
are going to think like, "What's
Tucson.
wrong with this guy?"
Yeah, no, we're very very
Yeah,
spoiled. Amazing Mexican cuisine scene. So I think that's also an
yeah.
element of like, hey, if you're gonna bring this to a potluck in Southern Arizona, you better bring your A game.
Now, when that particular group that should not have been doing taco bars was doing potato bars, I was in.
I
That's
do recall that.
that
I
is
do recall
genetic.
that.
Those are
That is
that's
genetic.
yeah. That's a genetic gift. We could cook us some potatoes. So the next one on our list for our topics for naughty and nice, holiday photo cards. Tyler, this is at work. Tyler, naughty or nice?
I almost forgot about the at work distinction.
Yeah, really important there because I love
Ye-
I love a card from a family member from afar
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or a friend. Whatever.
I'm conflicted on this one. I'm tempted to go naughty because it really, given the political answer, it really depends on the year, on the staff.
Yeah,
Like, do I really rock with these people, or do I not really rock with these people? But we work together, and we just do the best we can. I'm gonna go nice for this, assuming it's a staff colleagues I really vibe with. We really get along. I'm okay with the pictures. I'm okay with documenting memories, particularly in the work we're in, Brad. I think there's something to be said for solidarity. It's not saying you have to be best friends
Sure.
with everyone on the roster, but I think there is something to be said for that camaraderie that we are in this together. And Brad, I know you and I have spoken about this on and off air before. Education, specifically teaching, is such a unique profession because through the course of the 9 to 10 months that you're working together during a school year, you see every aspect of that colleague. You see them at their worst, you see them at their best. Some years, people's lives are falling apart.
Yes.
Other years, people are ascending and really finding their voice. I've seen the job affirm people, I've seen the job break people. It's done both to me at various times in my career. All that being said, because of those reasons, I'm going to shift from naughty to nice. I'm here for it. Yeah, it can get really extra and a little obnoxious, but this work is really hard. There's something to be said for community, even if it's at the risk of an obnoxious holiday photo op. I'm here for it. I'm willing to embrace it. Nice list.
I'm with you. It's on my nice list. The photo card. One of the things that, and you know this about me, and I've talked about this before, my kind of my love language isn't the product, it's the effort. I need to know that you're putting in the work. And I think for a lot of things, we were talking about this today about like we want to see effort. And I think seeing them get together to all dress similarly and take the time to create this thing and have it printed and given out speaks so much more to me than the stock greeting card that everybody just sort of signs. Because those things, naughty list, bottom of the naughty list, put them down there with potlucks, get them out of my life. I hate those. They feel condescending. I'm checking the box, but the photo card I feel like is no, we put in the effort and we're going like we want our faces on this, which means we looked at it and we care about it to go like we want to remind you that we care about you, instead of here's this card with photocopied signatures on it, pal. Your birthday's in 2 months, but we're not here, so here you go. Like that, it's that kind of stuff where it just feels so performative and not authentic. So I'll take the photo card over the written greeting card with no personalized messaging in it whatsoever. I can tell you
I
you
like your
want
spin
that
on
from
that.
me.
Okay, so that I do. Yeah, so the inverse, not necessarily you being required to take a photo op with the team, but you receiving it. And then I can
Yes.
remember the exact year where we did receive that from an admin staff. Very heartwarming, very
Yeah.
touching, especially when you like them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, both options, particularly your option, Brad. It's a nice list for me.
Yeah. And having to do it, like you said, it kind of depends on the day. If if
It
we're if,
does. It
if we're
does.
doing a photo op and it's like
It does. Spirit
it's
Week photo ops.
oh, we had Spirit Week, and then the following week was Staff Spirit Week, Secret Staff Spirit Week. But it wasn't very spirity. It was just sort of like we'll all do it in secret and not tell the kids. But I'm like, Tuesday was everybody wear all black. I'm like, yeah, Merry Christmas, kids. Here's your letters that I wrote to you. I'm dressed like I'm going to a funeral. Now I'm out. So there's stuff like that where I'm like, I can't go do the photo op because I don't want to. The Secret Santa stuff that they did recently today, it actually happened today. I didn't see the email in time, and then I just didn't partake in it, or I wouldn't have. That being said, Tyler, we will make a distinction between these two games. Secret Santa, naughty or nice?
Mm. I may need the breakdown between the difference in these two games because I often
Really, it's the game is you buy a gift, right?
right.
For Secret Santa, you're buying a gift specifically for someone. For
Yeah, they're not the same thing at all. This is
no,
good to know. Gimmick
yeah,
infringement, educational show.
yes.
Wow, that's totally clear. Okay, Secret Santa, you buy a gift for. Okay, yeah, clearly you buy a gift for someone
And then they try
specific.
to guess who got
Yeah,
the
yeah,
gift.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been using this wrong for years. That's a nice. That's a nice for me. I love that. I love the mysterious element. I
Mhm.
love the idea of getting someone a thoughtful gift that will pop them. Yeah, nice list. Definitely.
100%. I love a Secret Santa. I was bummed I didn't get to do it because I don't think I got invited last year, or if I did, I didn't see it or didn't care. One of the two things happened. But I would have liked to have done that because I like my department. the CT people are really cool, and I would have liked to have done that. So I awkwardly walked past them to go to the auditorium, and they were handing off their gifts, and I was like, "Hey guys, sorry," and just kept it moving. But I love a Secret Santa. I think it's cool because it's thoughtful. You get that price point, and you got to try to hit it to get something thoughtful for that one person, and then they have to try to guess who gets it. That's so much fun, and it's giving, and it's camaraderie, and it's just all positivity all the time. Even if the gift is like terrible, it's probably hilarious, and then you get to laugh about it. The lower you make the money, like for the gift, the funnier those gifts end up being, because they're almost always garbage. But it's so much fun. It's so much fun. Tyler, our last one on the list, the white elephant exchange with coworkers.
Right.
Naughty or nice?
Yeah. I'm just gonna ride with how it went this week. It went really well. Very different element than Secret Santa, as you said.
Yeah.
This is not the same thing, as we learned.
Did you
as I
steal?
learned. Yeah, I stole.
Yeah. Did you get to keep it?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
I left with and this is a huge dilemma with White Elephant. It's a nice list for me. However, I ended up stealing. My item was stolen. I ended up with a heated blanket.
Oh, nice.
That someone proceeded to steal. And then so I had an option of stealing a portable speaker or a $15 Target gift card. And $15 was the maximum limit. So the $15 Target gift card definitely was the best item. It was straightforward, but I can use that. I just purchased an order on the Target app today. I could have used it, but I did not because I chose the speaker. This is why, Brad Winchester. How cutthroat do you want to be amongst your coworkers? Because the woman who had the Target gift card, the young lady, I'm a big fan of. We're good friends. Shout out to Alyssa. I didn't want to take the Target gift card from her.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in my head and panicked in the moment and said, you know what? I'll take that awesome speaker. And it is an awesome speaker. I'm very excited for it. But my real choice would have been the gift card. I just didn't want to be that guy to take the gift card from her. So instead, Jared from across the way, shout out to Jared. I actually took his speaker, Brad, and I told him as I walked to him, we kind of met halfway for the exchange. I said, Jared, it's nothing personal. It's just business. We got to laugh. I took the speaker and we were good.
Yeah.
But I distinctly thought about how am I going to be viewed if I take that gift card? And more specifically, is Alyssa going to feel the way if I take this gift card from her? So there are certain dynamics involved that you don't get with Secret Santa.
Yeah.
But all in all, I would say White Elephant is a dub. It's a win. It's on my nice list.
I'm going to go. This is probably the anxiety in me. I'm going to go naughty. And it's for all of those reasons. I have fun at White Elephants, but with coworkers, I start playing office politics in my head. And I just don't enjoy it. Like you're going through all those things. I don't want to make Alyssa upset. If I'm playing with,
I think I would have regretted it if I did. That's why I did not.
Years ago, I got invited to go to. This is back when I actually cared about this stuff. I think Ben Anderson invited me to a White Elephant craft beer exchange. Bring your best bottle of whatever it is. Everybody brings some, and we go hang out. And we did a White Elephant version of that. And I was in there going like, well, I've had this one in the cellar for 2 years. Maybe it's as valuable as that thing that guy had to trade for from across the country. That's probably a $150 bottle of something. This thing I got it for $20, and then that's it. And kept it for a while. It was like no limit. Bring whatever you want as long as you want to give it away for the White Elephant thing. And in there, I was like, yeah, I don't want this. Give me that. No problems taking somebody's stuff. I had no problem taking it. But if I were doing something at work where it's like they got something I want, I'm like, okay, but they gotta, like if I'm in there and Brett Fisher is on the other side of this, and I know Brett's got to finish the welding project for the front of the stage, and I need the stage to be ready before January 22nd.
What are the ramifications of this decision?
I'm not taking that from Brett because I want the stuff ready by January 22nd.
Yeah.
So suddenly I'm playing office politics.
Yeah,
in there.
they work on payroll.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like
my evaluators groceries. Here. Yeah.
Right.
Do I really want to do? Actually, I probably would do that because it'd be funny.
How audacious do you feel this holiday?
Yeah. So yeah, your evaluation is just one tick lower from a raise because you took their blanket. Yeah, absolutely crazy stuff. So the White Elephant thing, it's a nice, but at work it's a naughty. I'm out on White Elephant, but I love Secret Santa for work. I think it's great. Tyler, this was so much fun. We got to do naughty and nice. We got to talk about all these different holiday things, totally different for GI. For us, sure, we're going to be talking about wrestling. There's a lot of wrestling to come. This was a great year. Shout out to all of our listeners and viewers. Merry Christmas to everybody. I had a blast.
I did too. Thank you all so much for joining us. We would love your thoughts on on these topics we went over: Christmas, the holidays at your workplace, or really any topic that we went over throughout this series. As a reminder, Brad, we discussed a lot. We went over foods, traditions, music, movies. Let us know what you think. We want your takes. Let us know below in the comments here on YouTube. Or you can find us right? Why not even reach out to us on social media? You can find us at GIPod19. Let us know what you think. We will respond. We will share. It has been amazing. Thank you all so much for joining us. As Brad said, Merry Christmas for those who celebrate. Those who do not, we love you. We hope you are surrounded by love and community this holiday season. Brad, this has been great. I learned a lot about you that I did not know.
Likewise, yes.
We disagree on Elf, but
yes,
we will still maintain this friendship.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I wore my Buddy the Elf socks yesterday, and they were a gift from my daughter. Okay. I'll have to tell Freya that you hate her and Buddy the Elf.
All right. I'm going to get out of here before I get in more trouble. Thank you all so much for joining us. Happy holidays, and we will see you soon.